The film opens and introduces the main character Kingsley, a stylish man who plans to find a new cruise route in the 19th century. He often tells about his adventures in Wonderland, which is called Underland, even though people think he is insane but believe that all eyes. Yes, it's not bullshit, but years later, he died before finding the place he was looking for. A world that wasn't always young was one day brought to a garden party, where it was hoped that he would receive a marriage proposal from the son of one of his father's business partners. But focus disturbed when he saw a rabbit with a vase near him. Without thinking, he rushed after the strange creature. After that, he found his way to the trunk of an old tree. She entered the trunk of the tree and fell into the hole, leading him to a strange room where there was a rabbit and drink who can make it smaller, and me who can make his body big with the key. He holds then walked through a very small door. After passing through that door, he immediately found himself in a very large garden area where he met a white rabbit, red dodo bird, and Twitter where everyone can talk. Rabbit's White explained that he was sure that this time his Indian music omelette friend misunderstood his name but felt maybe they were looking for another Alice. So they took him to a salon near the Capillars who consulted the scroll containing details regarding the history of Wonderland. The scroll claims that on the days of Francis will come back to kill the bad boy who wasn't in the class when the commotion broke out. Appears along with some red card soldiers and a creature called Barnesnot's technique takes the scroll and catches the dodo bird. Standing tall, convinced that it was just a dream, it notes it and runs, but not before Dermis plucks out one of the creature's eyes, somehow encounters another trying to help him. But was soon caught by a giant bird who took them to the cashier with the queen informing that them of the scroll and prophecy about the mission of killing their representative. Hearing the news immediately ordered him to catch using his never dog named Bear Bear, Trinidad and lure freedom for his wife and children. Meanwhile, Bear Bear treated and lure freedom for his wife and children. Meanwhile, met a cat who took him to the place where he met Stan. Here again confirmed that he was not the LS in question, but unexpectedly and turned out to be getting closer to the teapot to hide from explain the main reason why he came. He then tried to guide in different direction. After they left, Alice passed through a nearby forest where they found the ruins of a small village on fire, then explained about how he went to take over Wonderland. Pick up while they were talking, come back closer and put on his hat. He threw it at the source. A small village on fire, then explained about how we went to take over Wonderland. Pick up while they were talking, come back closer and put on his hat. He threw it at the source. Surrender herself to the who took him to Red Queen, meanwhile found the hat and took him to Liquid Police to save the header. Along with that, they found a path where met the white rabbit who helped the rocket game with the Red Queen asking to be made bigger, and the rabbit gave him a cake, but she eats too much and ends up as high as Grab before greatly disrupting the rocket game doesn't recognize who is saying and wants to help the impressed queen's down then declares her a part of his pleas. Meanwhile, Ada was brought before the queen to be originally meant to be beheaded, but time and request that she make the queen a hat for her large hat was flattered by her concern. She granted this request, only knowing that the sword was in the castle grounds, but it was locked in a chest in Barnett's intersection, where Barnett helped him escape from the castle. Went to the park, still annoyed that everyone pushed him into these talks. There she met a solitary one explaining to as he had been to other banks before, and everything we believed was just a dream turned out to be a reality after. Where the Barnards helped him escape from the castle, went to the park, still annoyed that everyone pushed him into these talks. There he met a solitary one explaining to us she had been to other banks before, and everything he believed was just a dream turned out to be a reality after getting that and getting revelation. Soon, wearing his previously normal-sized armor finally arrived, everyone was willing to take up arms for the White Queen. He desperately hoped to escape them. Queen the order, then Heather and Mass organization be executed the next day, but used her mother to disguise herself as a Heather. Allows him to escape to shrink everyone normal size to fulfill the prophecy that has been so far today's society, but goes to the park still annoyed that everyone is pushing him into these talks. There she meets Absalom, who is alive as other before, and all that he believed it was just a dream, it turned out to be a reality after getting that advice and getting to immediately put on his prepared armor. Take a sword to immediately to go join the battlefield. Meet in a square field by asking his sister not to refuse to grant her sister request, then bring up as an answer. Himself talks about 6 impossible things in his mind game. He found the power to kill. She brought Kiso immediately demanded that the people who killed, but because the White Queen hero had killed the hero had Queen the Red Queen stopped to follow his order. It was ordered to be thrown offline for the activities carried so far as punishment, and taken away. The white troops rejoice to the dance, which automatically becomes entertainment for those who watch. Collect some areas of Sibiru battery and give it to the Alice, where the blood allows it to return to his world, then and the White Queen stopped to follow his order. It was ordered to be thrown offline for the activities carried so far as punishment, and a dance which automatically becomes entertainment for those who watch. Collect some areas of Sibiru battery and give it to the Alice, where the blood, and she cannot accept his proposal. He also explained his point of view regarding Wonderland and all its inhabitants. But his friend Demeanor caught my father's attention, who then both discussed plans to expand shipping routes to China. An unopened country teacher to open a shipping route to China on a ship named Wonder and Silimbu, closed with a blue butterfly that is none other than